And my dressing gown cord is in the way. Right, that's fine. Anyway, welcome to day 12 of APAM Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month, celebrating our diversity across the asexual spectrum and our differences within it. Yes, I am indeed live in my own bedroom, shall we say, and this video tonight is one of the hardest videos I've probably done for a while because it's really, really personal, going to very, very personal details. I have got permission to do this video from the other person it involves, because he knows that it will help others. So he watches my channel all the time. He's like my biggest ever YouTube fan. We've known each other for over 2 years. And he is on the aromantic spectrum. So we went together to we met up in London together, and he filmed me for this channel, so we'll be editing my footage for the UK Asexuality conference, and it will be on this channel. He's absolutely amazing. He's a really, really awesome friend. So he'll be watching this tonight or as soon as he can. So in this video, I want to talk about romantic, aromantic confusion. Okay, so me and my friend, we met each other in London and we spent 3 days together over the time of the UK Asexuality conference. So basically, the UK Asexuality conference was on Sunday the 8th of July, and I met him on Saturday the 7th of July, and we spent the day together also on the Monday and went to the aquarium together. We had an amazing time. We're still awesome friends. We're brilliant friends, in fact, probably better than before we went to see each other and to go to the conference. But I am a hyper romantic, right? If you haven't really followed this channel for a while, you're new to this channel, you're new to me. I will just let you know what a hyper romantic is. Basically, a hyper romantic is someone who is excessively romantic. You know, when I see situations and certain people, I will see romance, even if it's not how they feel or see it. I will see that. Yeah, I think everything's romantic if it's nice and squishy and cute and kind and cuddly. Usually it usually has a place in my romanticism. So basically, I self-date a lot. I love myself implicitly. I didn't used to in the past, but I do now. So I get loved up 24/7, feeling romantic with myself most of the time. So this is where I come from. I come from a very strong romantic background. I love romance. I love all the fairy tale princess stuff. But I love that just even with being with myself without needing or being with anyone else, just with me. I take myself out on dates, I go to the cinema, to zoos, to the aquarium, out for meals, and I really love sort of, I would say wine and dine myself, but as I don't drink wine, juicing and dining myself, as it were. You know, I love being with me and spending time with myself, and I spend a heck of a lot of time on my own because I live by myself. And it's really good to self-date because it gets me back in touch with my own soul and my being. Now, because I spend so much time on my own, I'm not used to being around people all the time. And with me and my friend, we met up in London and we spent 3 days together. He is a guy. And I am, like I said, hyper romantic. I view things really, really romantically. Now, there's something else you have to know about me. I normally get attracted to younger foreign guys, right? I live in the UK, but I get attracted to younger foreign guys, and I want to be in a romantic relationship with a younger foreign heteromantic guy. And I really need one to be in the UK because, you know, abroad just doesn't work out. They can't get over here. You know, some people just lie to get visas, sadly, and it's no good. I don't want a long distance relationship. I want someone I can kiss and cuddle in person, right? And I'm an asexual cougar, so, you know, whereas sexual cougars, they get sexually attracted to young guys in their 20s, they want sex with them. I don't want that. I get attracted to younger guys in their early to mid 20s. and I don't want anything to do with sex to do with them. I don't need to see a guy naked below the waist. I'm not into that at all. I just want to kiss, cuddle, and hold them and be best friends and go out and do young, fun, like teenager stuff with them, like go to cinema, movies, and do all the things I do self-dating, but with them. So that's where I'm coming from with the young thing. I'm really young in my mindset. I don't believe I'm the birth certificate age I am. I really, really don't. I think it's a joke to me. Like I just think it's a complete joke. I just do. It's not who I am. It's not who I was born to be. But when I was when I was younger in birth certificate age, I was very much older for my age, and now I'm older in birth certificate age. I'm younger. So usually, if I'm in a relationship, like the younger guy would be sort of the older one, if you know what I mean. But it's done purposely. I'm still, I've still got a maturity about me to be responsible and to be to be responsible. Basically, I'm not an irresponsible person. I'm still a responsible person, but I like to have fun in a way that doesn't upset or hurt anyone. And so that's where I'm coming from. Now, my friend, he's on the aromantic spectrum. So he identified as an aromantic, but leaning towards heteromantic, and felt he might be in between the two. And then a few months ago, he came out as identifying as demi-romantic. Now, demi-romantics can only form romantic attraction when a strong emotional bond has been formed with a person. And that can take a long, long time. It could take a couple of years, for example. And they need that deep emotional connection to actually feel romance. Otherwise, essentially, they're aromantic. And a demi-romantic is on the aromantic spectrum. So you've got aromantics, then you've got grey romantic, which a grey romantic experiences romantic attraction a little bit or under limited, rare or specific circumstances, but not enough to want to act on it. And then the demi-romantic is part of the grey romantic spectrum, which is part of the aromantic spectrum. And basically a demi-romantic, like I said, they have to have a strong emotional connection in order to form any romance, And so otherwise they just kind of think of everyone as mates. But aromantics, I've noticed, can have certain behaviours and do certain things that personally, as a romantic, I would consider romantic, and they don't realise they're being romantic. They don't see it that way. So basically, aromantics have a different mindset to romantics. We come from a different place in our minds, just like sexuals come from a different place in their mind to asexuals. Aromantics come from a different place in their mind to romantics, and particularly as I'm a hyper romantic, we're kind of like worlds apart. So, I mean, how does that work in practice, and how can it be confusing? Well, with my friend, before I went away and met him, he started me, like, I haven't known him to be that romantic. I have to stress this. I haven't known him to be that romantic. But if you remember at the beginning of this video, I told you that over the last few months, he started identifying as a demi-romantic. And I've noticed it's not just his identity. He's sort of shifted in behaviour somewhat to what I knew him as before. So to me, he's become more romantic in general towards me. So before we went away, he wanted me to watch these videos with him, right? And he's into gaming and I'm not. Now, these videos, the one he sent me just before we went away, like, seriously, it was one of the most romantic videos. Hey, I'm talking about you and me. Nice to see you. I'm just sort of beginning the deep stuff. So, yeah, it's cool. This is going to be a long video for anyone watching. My friend who I'm talking about is on here. He did give me permission to post this, so and do it live. So this is great. So what I was trying to say was that my friend started identifying as demi-romantic. You're going to be in for a treat because you're going to know exactly what I was thinking and feeling now. Oh my God. Oh, shall I really do this? I need some more water. In my Shrek mug. Yeah. Which you didn't go see Shrek. Yeah, you'll get to know all my inside thoughts now. I don't know if this is a bit dangerous doing this, but never mind. Because he's watching. But we're best friends anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so what was I saying? So basically, Oh yeah, that's what I want to reiterate. I may as well say this before the video, is we're best friends. So if you've got a true best friend, it doesn't really matter what you say to them in terms of if you like them or don't like them, or like them a bit more than a friend. Or do you know, when I say don't like them, of course you like them, but I'm saying regardless of whether you say you like them a bit more than a friend, or you don't actually say that, but you feel it or think it or imply it, it doesn't matter, because if they're your real friend, they're not going to go away from you and stop being your friend. Because there's quite a lot of problems where surrounding if you can tell a friend how you feel about them, if you feel any more than friendship for them, or like them a little bit more, or feeling romance, etc. And there's this sort of thing that you can't say that to your friend because you'll lose their friendship. Look, if they're a real true friend, it won't matter. They'll just be flattered and honoured that you felt that way. Do you know what I mean? So long as you don't start acting really, really strange, like, it's fine for both of you. You know, it's adult. Be adult about it, people. Be adult. Me and my friend are adult, and that's why we're awesome friends, and we're probably more awesome friends than we ever were before. So it's great. So yeah, I just wanted to start by saying that we're brilliant friends. So whatever happens that I say in this video, we're still awesome friends, and it's great. And hopefully he'll be coming to a meetup if he's remembered to look at all the stuff for the trains and that to come down to my Exton meet, because I really we like seeing each other, so it's cool. Anyway, to go back to what happened with confusion with me and him, well, me, on my part, not his part, right? My part, as far as I know. So, yeah, so basically, before we went away, bear in mind I said that he's been identified as demi-romantic for a few months before this. And I noticed, not just identity-wise, but his behaviour changed, like it became much more romantic. So this was obviously the first confusing thing for me. It's like really weird because I'm talking to you about you, but I know you can give me permission, so you're amazing. And so yeah, so basically he's going to send me 3 videos. He sent me this one. I have to admit that he's into gaming, I'm not, and so I thought, oh my goodness me, it's going to be another gaming video. Now the reason I like to watch gaming stuff with him or for him is because I like him as a person, because I like him and because I care about him. I'm interested in what he has to say and do. Okay, so there's kind of that little bit in me that cares about him that way, which normally I don't get. Normally, like, I'd be a bit like, I'm bored with gaming, it's a no-go, not interested in it. But because I care about him, maybe I care about him a little bit more than I would do like my average friend, then I want to watch stuff because I know it makes him happy, and I'm not normally like that. So I notice how I behave differently with him and think differently. So it's kind of like I care about him a little bit more than I would the average friend. Yeah, because normally I'll be like, oh, thanks for telling me, but it's not really my thing. But with him, it's kind of like, and to be honest, I thought that he liked me a little bit more than a friend, because I kind of thought over the last few months that he's wanted to just share sort of his gaming more with me, and that he wanted me to be involved in it more because he liked me a little bit more than a friend. This is the romantic side mindset coming out. Okay, this is how a romantic or a hyper romantic like myself thinks, that, oh, if a person wants to involve you more in their life, then it normally means they like you a little bit more than a friend. Don't forget, I'm on the romantic side of things. This is how, when there's certain things traditionally in sort of traditional relationships, like different stages. So it's really hard because I've come from the heterosexual dating world, right? So I understand the psychology and the stages of relationships, which I don't think some asexuals understand, and especially not someone on the aromantic spectrum probably wouldn't understand, because a lot of it's tied to romance and a lot of it's tied to traditional sort of relationship stages. So in a potential relationship stage, you have this stage you go through where you kind of like want the person to be more involved in your life. When you start going to the stage where you want the person to be more involved in your life, you want the person to see more about what you do, you want them to understand you better, that's more of a stage up from friendship. That then becomes not just a normal friendship, it becomes like that person's central and core to your life, and you really want them in it. So that shoves it past friendship. Do you see what I mean? This is why I first start to get confused, because I noticed that he my friends listening to this, I noticed that he wanted me to be more involved in his game and his life. It's like, I really want you to like this, you know, and it was very important to him. Now that to me is in the stages of a normal sort of friendship potential relationship. That to me is like pushing more towards potential relationship in traditional stages. Don't forget, asexuality isn't traditional, but I've come from that background, and I've come from the relationship psychology and learnt about the different stages of a relationship, how they should be, because I obviously have to help a lot of asexuals in relationships. And although asexuals and heterosexuals and sexual relationships in general and asexuals are different, there are some fundamentals that can still be the same, especially in the romantic spectrum end. You know, the fundamentals can still be the same. But when you've got aromantic, romantic people together, it kind of like, it can completely confuse one or more people. So that was the sort of first type of thing that he really wanted me to be involved in, is gaming. And, you know, a lot of these things I don't think he'll realise until I say them now to him. It'll be kind of like, oh, right, okay, I didn't realise that's how she felt or think. So that's why I'm revealing a lot in this video. I hope it's okay. It's fine. And then before we went away together, he sent me, he wanted me to watch these videos. And now, like I said, I'd normally be like, oh my goodness. But anyway, I watched it, and I watched the first one, and it was just completely different to why I was gobsmacked, to be honest. I was like, oh my God, this is one of the most romantic things a person has sent me in their entire life. Bear in mind, this guy, my friend, supposed to be aromantic. Yeah, it's just like, it's not really what I would consider an aromantic thing, but I come from a romantic mindset. He comes from a mindset that I thought you would like this because I know what type of person you are. Whereas I came from the mindset of, oh my goodness, he must really value me as a friend, but also care about me in kind of like, you know, if he was romantic, he would care about me in a romantic way if he sent me that, to be quite honest with you. People don't usually send those type of videos unless they're feeling romantic towards someone. But obviously this is an aromantic we're talking about, and I understand his mindset. So I know that he sent it to me because he thought it might be something I'm interested in, right? Because he knows my personality. So this video, right, was like two animation characters. And one was sort of, this person was sort of leaving that person. This person was giving their heart to them. You know, I mean, how much more romantic can you get other than the fact that they actually go off in the sunset together rather than separating? Because I don't really like things separating if they're supposed to love each other, right? But I think it's supposed to be like a friendship heart love. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's one of the most romantic things I've ever seen in my entire life. And of course, like, I'm now getting confused before I even meet him that does he like me romantically? Because this is one of the most beautiful, I mean, you know, even now I'm sort of well up with tears because it's one of the most beautiful things a guy's ever sent me. And this guy's supposed to be just my friend, yeah? And I'm like, why can't guys in the past who haven't been very nice to me, I'm getting upset now, be like this? Because it's just beautiful, you know? Really, really, really beautiful. So I am probably going to get a bit upset throughout this because I'm a romantic person, and it was just hard. It's just hard for me, you know, because I haven't got the romantic person in my life. I still adore my friend to bits. We're still really good friends and always will be, okay? So don't worry about that. Okay, so that was the first, you know, that was like, whoa, you know, this guy's first of all started to talk about gaming. Oh, and I noticed another thing, like in the last few months as well, he likes an older woman, okay? He doesn't like, I'm telling you that, not my age, because I'm slightly out of his age range, but he still likes an older woman, which is a distinct shift from what he did before. So I've got, okay, he likes an older woman. He identifies as demi-romantic now. He likes an older woman. He wants to be more involved in his life. And he sent me this really romantic video. Now, I think she was meant to be a love interest. They grew up together in the forest where they lived. Well, Martin, if she was meant to be a love interest, then of course, now he's just said that I think she was meant to be a love interest. But if she's meant to be a love interest, don't you understand that is far more romantic than just sending a friend a video of two friends? Oh my God. Now he's making me feel more romantic. Because he's telling me, yes, the video was of romantic people. So I guess I got that right in my mind, but see what I mean? See why I'm so confused now? It's like, do you like me more than a friend? Because that's not what normal friends send each other in my romantic world. It's just not. And now he's told me they were definitely love interests. I'm like, you know, you're giving that video to me, which basically means you're giving me your heart like a love romantic interest. That's what it implies to me. That's what I think it would imply to any romantic female in the entire planet or universe. That if a guy sends a video like that to a girl and they're giving their heart and it's to do with romance, a romantic love interest, yes, it would usually mean that the guy who sent it fancies you and wants you to be more than your friend. So maybe now you understand why I was really confused. But I think they accept that they'll stay as close friends. Well, yeah, in the video they might accept they'll stay as close friends, but I'm not going away and you're not going away. So if the people weren't going away in that video, they would be together and they would probably be in a relationship if that. Yeah, see, you understand now. I'm glad you understand. This is really important that you understand. Thank you. So you see, already before I've met Martin, I hope you don't mind me using your name. Before I've met him, I've got like all these things like demi-romantic, more older women, romantic, really, really romantic behaviour with the video. Do you see what I mean? And wanting me to be more in his life, in his gaming. You know, all these things would point usually to the fact that a guy likes a girl far more than a friend and wants them to be involved and wants more than a friendship with them. That is what all these things would usually add up to. It just is. You know, I can't deny it. I can't make it something it's not. That is what any girl, I think, would think in that position. Okay, so then we meet up and it's just like he was shorter than I thought he'd be and I was shorter than he thought I'd be, so that's kind of really cool. And it's like, whoa, yay. And we just got on really, really well, but we've always got on really well. And I think I personally noticed his body language meant that he didn't mind me being really close to him, like physically. Like, I'm not saying he was doing anything bad. I'm just saying, I know, for example, I don't think you knew this. When we were on the train, right, there was huge space around us, right? But I was sat down and he was literally sat there right next to me and nearly practically touching me. If I'm not touching as in hands, just practically his body was pretty much adjacent to mine like that. I don't think he'll have noticed this, but I did. And you don't do that unless you're really comfortable with someone. Obviously, you could be comfortable as a friend, but I kind of like, that's a little bit more like, even more sort of like, it was like his front of his body was there. That is a sign, like it's kind of hard because obviously the asexual world is completely different to the world outside we live in, really. Do you know what I mean? But kind of I was there and he was there. And it's the T shape, you know, it's not like two people sat next to each other like that. It's like he was there and I was there and he has all this space around him, but he's chosen to put his body near mine. So that is a body language sign that he really likes me, he's really comfortable around me and physically close to me is what he likes. That is a sign. I'm telling you all this stuff now that you probably didn't realise when we were together, but I'm telling you, so hopefully you can see my point of view more and understand it more, and maybe you didn't even realise you're like that. No, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy he's comfortable around me. I would just say he's more comfortable than a friend would be around me, and body language would indicate that, especially as he had all his space. It was only when I started saying on the last day about him being physically close to me that he seemed to have more of a problem with it. It's because I brought it to his attention, I think, and he didn't notice it before, and therefore it might have made him feel a bit awkward, like, oh yeah, no, I'm not like that usually, and freaked him out a bit. Maybe, I don't know, only he can answer that one. But I was surprised, like not surprised as in it's bad. I was surprised as in his body language meant he wanted his body closer to mine than the average friend would. That's what I'm trying to say, which was another thing that really confused me. I'm like, if you just like me as a really, really good friend, then how does your body language say more? Because body language is a lot of the time it's not conscious, it's unconscious, and you do unconscious things that you want, that you need, that you're sort of thinking and feeling without actually knowing you're doing it, if you know what I mean. Sometimes they can be good things, sometimes they can be bad things. But what I'm saying is I wasn't feeling bad because I didn't mind him being close to me, but I just kind of thought that sort of closeness, when he had all that space around him, means that he probably likes me more than a friend. That's what it indicates. So anyway, everything was great, everything was fine. Anyway, so yeah, did the everything was like normal friends. Did the UK Asexuality conference. He's an amazing guy. He filmed me. Got on so well. We met my other BFF there. We met my another friend the night before as well. And yeah, that's a thing as well. I've never ever had a guy that I've actually shown my other friends to, which is kind of like it could have been that the tube was crowded and I didn't want to get separated as well. Yeah, I know, but in this particular instance, my friend, I'm trying to tell you there was loads of space around you. It was low. I don't mind you being close to me because I really don't mind you. But I'm just trying to say, at this particular time you had space around you. There was loads of space around you, and this particular time you were there and I was there, which means you like me more than a friend. That's what it indicates in body language. It just does. But you know, if you feel weird about that now, don't feel weird. It's just like because we talked about it, and he's like, well, I'm just really comfortable around you. Yeah, see what I mean? If there's space around you, you were close to me when there's space around you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think we both might be a little, you know, I don't want to say all this and it to change us, our friendship. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to do that. So it's just like kind of like I just thought I would say it so that you can understand where I'm coming from and then maybe reflect on it. And I don't know. So anyway, this is like how it can get, and it is confusing. So basically, yeah, I mean, sure, if we're on tube squash, to sure go near me. I mean, my other friends do. People go into my arm or whatever. It's fine. It's just I'm just saying that particular time, I could tell there was no one. Yeah, we're still really good friends, right? Because obviously my most important thing is that I remain friends with my buddy, you know, which I don't think we ever won't be friends because I do think we have a really strong connection, which I'm going to come on to as another thing. Yeah, I suppose that is another thing. Like, so anyway, the UK Asexuality conference went really well. I don't really introduce normally my friend to my other friends like that. So that kind of like in stages of relationship rather than friendship, you kind of have this stage where you introduce your partner, sorry, to your friends. And it's kind of like a stage on from normal friendship. It's like, oh, you're getting a bit more keener. So kind of like I've never introduced really my friends to another friend before. And it just happened to be that way. You know, I was up there and I happened to see all my friends together and it was amazing and incredible. And I loved every single minute of it. But it's like, Martin said to me that, oh, he would invite his friend and I could invite mine. And I kind of thought that was really nice, but I've also never had that, you know, before. I've never had that. And I kind of like associated in my memory that kind of that's like a thing that couples do when they introduce each other to their friends. I mean, friends might do that because obviously I'm getting more friends now, better quality friends. And I haven't had a lot of friends in my past, to be honest. I've got more friends than ever now because I mix with asexuals and I'm around them. So it's kind of like a different world to me anyway, in that sense. But I kind of like, oh, it's nice that we can sort of meet each other's friends. But I associate that in my head with romance. But I mean, that probably isn't a romantic thing. That probably is just like as it normally would be. But it's just because I'm a bit excessively romantic in that way that it reminds me of that stage in a relationship you get to, which we're not in a relationship, we're only in a friendship, by the way. But it reminds me of that stage you get to in a relationship where you want to meet the other person's family or friends, etc. Do you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, it was really nice though that we did that together. It's really weird. And I was kind of like, yeah. And I think also when you are asexual and single for quite a while, and you haven't been around a guy, you know, like me, okay, so I only get attracted to guys. So if I haven't been around a guy for a while, and I'm doing all this sort of stuff, it's kind of like a lot of it would be like I would do in a couple. But obviously I'm not a couple, I'm just a friend. So it's kind of like, it gets a bit like, whoa, in the head sometimes, which is just the circumstances. So, another thing is we've got this really strong, deep emotional connection. Now, don't forget, bear in mind, as he is demi-romantic, he could only be with someone who he forms a strong emotional connection to. And as far as I know, I'm the only female that he feels that with. So logically, in my logical mind, it's like, okay, you've got a really strong, deep emotional connection with him. You tell each other your secrets. You get on really well with this guy. Logically, if he was going to like anyone more than a friend, unless he was into guys, then, you know, I would be the logical choice for him to be with because I'm the only person that he's emotionally connected to, right? So yeah, logically, in my logic, like, okay, there's no one else I don't think he's emotionally connected to, female wise. He's into females, and yeah, that would be my logical conclusion. Is like, oh, okay, you're emotionally connected to this person. Well, you get on really well with her. You've known each other for over 2 years, and yeah, you only seem to have that special bond with that one particular female. Then, like, most likely you would be, if you were to be romantic, you would be romantic with her because you've got that connection with her that you don't have with other people, if you get my meaning. So kind of like logic pushes me towards that thought, if you know what I mean. Not just all this hyper romanticism, but logic points me in that direction, rightly or wrongly. Okay, and then yeah, it's really weird because, you know, I don't usually get attracted to British guys, right? It's usually I get attracted to foreign guys, have a certain type of look. But having said that, with some British guys, if I form a strong emotional bond with them, or if I how can I put it? I can experience some attraction, right? Romantic attraction. But it's weird because usually aesthetic attraction and romantic attraction always go together. I can't usually be romantic attracted to anyone unless I'm aesthetically attracted to someone, right? But that did change. Was it like last year? I think it was last year that changed. And for one friend who was British, I was intelligently attracted to him and became a bit romantically attracted to him, but I wasn't aesthetically attracted to him, so I didn't want to kiss him. Like, the most I would have done was want to stroke his hair or something, or maybe give him a hug. But not that much, you know, only a little bit. And we're not even friends anymore. It wasn't a good friendship in the end. But the friend that I'm talking about now, when we went up together to London, like, I can honestly, this is really hard for me to say, I can feel some romance, right? But aesthetically, it's not my type because he just isn't foreign, isn't the look I like usually in aesthetics. Not that there's anything aesthetically not good about him, it's just that he's not usually my type. Do you see what I'm coming from? And so yeah, so I didn't ever get the urge to kiss my friend or anything like that, but I kept getting the urge to hug him a lot, you know. And I don't get that with just friends. It's not really who I am. Like, I only have that feeling, or I only want that feeling inside a relationship. Do you see what I mean? I mean, there's a difference between I just want a normal hug to I want to hug this person a lot because I want them close to me, because I care about them and I like them and they're so sweet to me and I get on so well with them and I really understand them and they really understand me and I have this bond and this connection with them. So it's kind of like coming from a completely different place that I'm not used to. And kind of like that made me feel a little bit of romance, but not to the extent it would. Like with a foreign guy, it's completely different. With a foreign guy, I see him, I want to snog him, I want to kiss him, cuddle him, hug him, be with him forever in my life as boyfriend, girlfriend. With my friend, it's just kind of like, this is really hard, I'm hitting all this. With my friend, it's kind of like I feel a bit of romance, but like I really want to hug him a lot because he's so sweet and cuddly and, you know, nice, and we get on so well. Like, I'm not saying everything about him is perfect. There was a few things that I said wasn't, but no one's perfect, including me. But you know, I kept getting the feeling like I want to hug him, but it became stronger and it kept like staying there and it kept being like more in my face, like I want to hug him, I want to hug him, I want to hug him. And it's like, oh my god. And then like the first night I asked him if he wanted a hug goodnight because I didn't know if he was into hugging or not. He said that's fine. That was like a normal friend hug. And like the second night we hugged, it wasn't a normal friend hug. It was more like I would personally do the boyfriend, if I'm honest. Like, he's not used to hugging, so he doesn't really know the difference between like a friendship hug and a long-lasting hug. But also, some aromantics, they can get very intimate with their friends. I tend to have boundaries usually. Like, this is the way I would hug a friend. This is the way I hug someone in a relationship. But I've been single for years anyway. It's kind of like, well, as I'm single anyway, I'm not really upsetting any boyfriend or anything. So it's kind of like up to me what I do and whether I want to do that. But we had this hug and it's like, It's like really, like really nice, and like I got really, I get really upset about it because it's like really one of the most warmest hugs, kindest, carest hugs I've ever had, and it was really tender and soft, and I really loved it, and it was really hard for me because I want that, but I want that in a relationship, if you understand what I mean. And when you're really romantic like me, and you haven't got anyone to do that with, it's kind of really hard, and it's kind of like really, really, really difficult for me, you know. And it's like when I went back to my room, to be honest, I just wanted to carry on hugging him, my friend. And yeah, this is really upsetting now. Sorry. But you know, I just wanted to really carry on hugging my friend. And I kind of wanted us to like in the rooms, we each had our own room, right? And there was like two, you know, it doesn't matter, I'm crying, I'm still best friends with him, right? I was gonna be. But I'm just saying it as I feel it in the moment. So we had like we each had our own room, and we had like two single beds in each room. So there was a set of two single beds and a set of two single beds. And yeah, and if I'm really, really honest, I know he will be fine with me because I know we're such good friends and we're all cool with each other. It's great, but you know, I really, really wanted to be in the same room with him, laid opposite him, with him, going to sleep. It's like, I don't get that usually. You know, I can't usually sleep in the same room as someone, the same bed as someone. It wouldn't have been the same bed, it would have been separate single beds, but they were shoved together. But you know, I don't usually get feeling like that, you know, and I didn't tell him all this when I saw him. Obviously, it's kind of easier for me to say it because I'm like not seeing him face to face. I'm behind a screen, but I know I am seeing him face to face because I know you're watching this right now, obviously. But that's the way I felt, and it's like, oh my god, I don't usually feel that way. So I like kept feeling like I want to hug him, and I kept feeling like I want him to be in the room with me and sleep opposite me. And yeah, I don't usually get like that, so that was kind of really hard for me. But I didn't want the kissing like I would usually do boyfriend girlfriend. I didn't want all that. I wasn't attracted to want that. It wasn't right. That's why it comes really confusing for me, because obviously then it's not boyfriend girlfriend stuff. It's like, well, what is it? It's like really weird for me. Really weird for me. I'm not usually used to being in the no man's land, what the heck is going on type thing. So that was really, really hard. Yeah, because I text him that I'm missing you already, and he texts me I'm missing you too. Well, obviously, usually that's what you'd say when you like someone and you're feeling romantic over them. And I said, how long have you liked me more than a friend? And he said that he didn't know, but it's just a good friend thing though. So you see, he put me in my place. It's just a good friend thing, but it's just my mindset is completely different to that. Like, I know that I'm just good friends with him because that's what he wants. That's what is right. That's what's right for both of us. That's okay. That's all great. But obviously, all that thing I was thinking and feeling is kind of like really hard. You know, and when he was showing me his cards, like his gaming cards, I just thought, oh, you're so sweet. You're just so sweet. And sharing that with him, like, it's just so lovely, you know. I just really loved it, and I knew he was excited and he was happy, and I like to see him excited and happy. And even though it's something I'm not really into, I kind of like wanted to get into it because I care about him so much, which I don't usually have that either. I usually, with the bloke, I'm usually like, well, whatever, go away. I'm not interested in that type of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's different with him. So I'm kind of like noticing that I do feel differently towards him that I would do an ordinary friend. So yeah, that was kind of like weird. And so yeah, but it's fine. It's just that, you know, when you're romantic, you really just want to have that sort of hug and be held like that. And like with a romantic partner, you kind of really crave that and miss that, and that's what's kind of hard. But like, I asked him, like the last day, I had to ask him outright, have you ever been romantically attracted to me? He said no, and that's fine, because now I can tick him completely off my list as any possible partner, romantic wise, in the future. So I used to not like myself, love myself. I used to like hate myself and not like my life and very much. And I used to be in a really, really bad way, right? And I didn't used to value myself. But now I think I kind of like want to give guys opportunities. Like if I get on so well with the guy, And like, I'm not saying it would be right for me to be with him anyway, because I think we're different people in some ways, and we live miles apart anyway. So I don't think it's good to be in a relationship with someone you feel miles apart, you know, you live miles apart from. And also, I'm romantic, he's not that romantic, and I didn't want to kiss him, which I need the kissing in a relationship. So I obviously didn't like him romantically that much to want to be in a relationship with him. So it's kind of like, that's even more confusing. But, you know, so I don't think it's right for us to be in a relationship. Certainly not at the moment. I don't particularly see us ever doing that, because I think we're probably just always better as friends. And I really want to be with a foreign guy. Seriously, I do. But it's kind of like, I kind of feel in my life I need to give the guy the opportunity of being, potentially saying yes, he'd like to be with me or not. Because I know in years to come, then, you know, if he turns around to me and says, actually, I like you far more than I realise now, it's like, well, you missed your opportunity. That's it. I you know, I can't switch my emotions around like that. Either you like me or you don't. Do you see what I'm saying? I do that with other guys, you know, like in the past. Like, I kind of like, if I'm really interested in a guy, or I think he's really interested in me, I kind of like will wait before I start sort of like venturing out more into other people to see if there's anything else in it. And I kind of feel like I have to give them a chance, because this, I'm not being big-headed when I say this. I'm coming from a place of self-love, right? I honestly think that I would love to be in a relationship with a person like me. I just adore myself. Like, I didn't used to have this self-love years ago, but I love myself so much that I honestly think a guy's crazy not to be in a relationship with me. That's how I think these days. I'm like, you're absolutely bonkers. Like, do you know who I am? Like, I'm Sandra Bellamy. I'm the most amazing girl, for me, obviously. For me, yeah, I should just carry on dating myself. You know, I love dating myself, to be quite honest with you, and I love every minute I spend with myself, because I'm never bored with myself. I'm always excitable. There's always something going on in my life. I live a completely unconventional life, and I love every single minute of it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I can't understand why a guy can't see that, like think, oh my god, she's amazing, like she's just different to all the other girls I've ever met, and she's incredible, and I just want to spend the time with her and kiss her and cuddle her and be with her. I kind of like, you know, I don't get why other people don't see that, but it's fine. It's just because I'm coming from a huge place of self-love these days, and I kind of feel like I have to give, if there's a guy that I think might be interested in me remotely, I kind of feel like I have to give him that opportunity to say now, because I hate those films, right? Don't you just hate those films where you have a film, right, and there's two people in the film, and they do fancy each other, they do like each other, but they never get together throughout the whole of the film, and you've got to wait till the very end of the film to see if they get together. I hate that, because I think life is so short that I think if you love someone, you fancy someone, you like them more than a friend, you think about them being in a potential relationship, I think life is so short and you should just literally tell them. So that is why I asked the question. I didn't say how I felt. I mean, I'm saying some more of how I felt now, so he pretty much knows. But I didn't really say that much about how I felt. I just wanted to know how that person felt about me, and if they'd ever been romantically attracted to me or not. I mean, they say not. The body language and the actions and what they did to me seems the opposite of not. But I know that person's aromantic. I know they've got a different mindset to me. So it's perfectly valid that, you know, and if the person said no, they haven't, then I trust that person means what they say and they haven't. So that's it. But it means that I can cross that person off my list as any potential partner in the future for definite, 100%. Not I'm saying I was ever gonna be partners with them. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as any type of little tiny bit percentage potential, I know I can sort of take that person off and like just make sure that I just remain friends with them. And it's kind of like that I can carry on my way and like carry on looking around at other guys and stuff, and that's fine. It's all great. But one thing you have to remember in your life is it's so short, and people are like, oh, wait for ages and don't say anything. You should, like, because I'm hyper romantic, right, I have to tell the person, I have to let the person know how I feel, or talk or explore how they feel about me, because it makes my life better. Okay, so it isn't just about them, it's about me. If I'm a hyper romantic, keeping that to myself is not good, because it enhances the romance. It makes it blow up like a volcano and be so intense in me that I can't stand it. So if I talk to the person about it, even if they're my friend, it's better, because it actually reduces the romantic feelings the more I talk about it. Usually if they're not suitable for me, you know, it kind of reduces the romantic feelings. It kind of like puts things in perspective. And if I know they definitely are not attracted to me romantically, then I can move on, but I can still be their friend, especially with British guys, because it doesn't hurt as much. Like, because he doesn't like me romantically, it's not that big a deal, because I'm mostly attracted to foreign guys anyway. If it was a foreign guy telling me that would be completely different. I'd be like really heartbroken. I'd find it hard to still be their friend. But because he's British, I don't, because I don't really get that same intense feeling that I want to be with them forever, or that I want to be in a relationship. I don't get that. You see what I mean? I don't have like I said, I don't have any kissing attraction at all towards a person. That would be kind of like, ooh, not right, because they're my friends. So it's kind of like a bit strange that I even felt any romance, but it's kind of like weird. I think it's just because I'm, you know, like I worked out the other day as well that I associate emotional connection and romance like linked together like that. I don't really separate them, so that when I start feeling really emotionally connected to someone, I kind of like automatically feel some romance for them. I can't separate the two. Just having a drink. I can't separate the two. Whereas most people can, because I like analyse myself all the time and think, why do I behave like that? Why do I think that? Why do I feel that? And I've come to the conclusion that literally, for me, emotional connection, romance are just like that. It's like I can't really feel one without feeling some of the other. Like if I feel emotionally connected to a person, I can't really not feel romance. That's why I try with some people that I don't get too emotionally connected with them. But I mostly connect to younger foreign guys. I think it's with British guys, as if I've spent a long time with them, maybe I'm a little bit more demi-romantic towards British guys, but not enough to want to kiss them. Because yeah, I can feel that if I get on, if their personality's great and I get on really well with them. And, you know, in the aquarium, he was afraid of telling me that he wanted to see me again, but instead of just saying, yeah, it'd be great to meet up again, he was like really shy about it. Which is kind of a bit more romantic. It's like, well, if you're a mate, why don't you just say, oh yeah, it'd be great to meet up again, I'll come, rather than getting shy about it. I thought that was quite sweet. But yeah, it's like, wait, but yeah, but maybe it's because he was trying to say he wanted to spend some time with me, and maybe that I could have taken that as romance, which is a bit romantic. But no, but my other mates see me, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they just don't say it in the same way. But yeah, so anyway, at least I've given him a chance now. Then yeah, so that's kind of how I feel. I feel it's really good to give people chances. Like, if I hadn't given that person the opportunity, and then like a year later they turn around and say, actually, I feel all that for you now, and I'll be like, well, sorry, you put me in the mindset that I can't be like that with you. Then do you see what I mean? It's kind of like I have to give them the opportunity, because like I said, when I see those films, they drive me nuts. The ones where the people clearly fancy the pants off each other, but they just don't accept it, or they don't acknowledge it, or they don't bring it to fruition because they're too scared, or people get in their way. And it's like, come on, don't be like, I don't want to waste my life away being like someone in a movie. I like to be clean cut. You like me more than a friend, you don't like me more than a friend. You're romantic towards me, you're not romantic towards me. You're romantically attracted, you're not romantically attracted. If not, fine, that's great. At least I know now I can get on with my romantic life and still have you as my friend. Do you see what I mean? So, and talking about romance, yes, I can tell the difference, because when I was with my friend, we were on the tube, right, and there was this gorgeous young foreign guy, and he knows that I was flustered over him. So you see, it's completely different. That's what I said. Although I felt some romance and wanted to hug my friend, it was not the same as being romantically attracted to a foreign guy and wanting to snob their face off. It's just not the same. So this young foreign guy, oh my God, he was so beautiful, I thought. And I could tell he wanted me near him, like body language wise as well. So my friend by this time was that side, and I was kind of in the middle, so I was away from my friend a little bit. But this gorgeous foreign guy, he was behind by the doors, and I said to him, I've got to get out in a minute. And he's like, oh, okay. And he was a bit like he was telling me to stand near him. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm standing near him. He was so beautiful. So he probably was between the age of 19 and 21, actually. I don't know. Maybe 21. And he had this gorgeous baseball cap on, this white t-shirt and black trousers, skinny, coloured skin. And he was just so beautiful, like stunning. And I'm like, that's the type of guy I want to be with and snog forever. It's like he was beautiful, really, really, really beautiful. Like, I really wanted to kiss him and be close to him. He was beautiful. And it's like the way he kind of said, like, come here then. It's a bit weird. I can't hardly describe it. But when I said I have to get on, unless he was just like, instead of him just like, oh, okay, it's kind of like, well, come here, like, stay there. And then when I had to get off, I said to him, I've got to get off now. He actually went off the tube, stood off the tube to let me off the tube. And I'm like, that's so romantic. And I was trying to pretend that I wasn't that attracted to him. And I wanted to say that his actions of getting off the tube was gorgeous, right? But obviously I found him gorgeous. So I said to him, thanks for being so gorgeous, to try and cover up the fact that I really thought it was gorgeous. And it's just hilarious. Because I couldn't believe it. And then I said to my friend, I just can't believe what I said to him. Oh yeah, I said to him, thanks for being so gorgeous. But he had this beaming smile on his face. I really wished I had his phone number. I really wished I could see him again. He was so stunningly beautiful and exactly my type of look. He was gorgeous. And it's like, oh my God, I couldn't stop thinking about him for ages. So yeah, he was lush. Really, really, really my type. Like, but I can't believe that I tried to cover up the fact that I thought he was gorgeous by trying to say that what he was doing was gorgeous and end up telling me he was gorgeous anyway. I was like, that's just insane, man. Insane. So yeah, he was clean shaven and dark hair as well. Oh, he's just beautiful. So yeah, that's really like kind of wraps up my confusion. So I don't know if anyone who's watching this video who's not involved in these scenarios, then, you know, we'd love to hear your comments. Post them down below. Have you ever had aromantic and romantic confusion, romantic and aromantic confusion? Have you ever, like, been in a situation like we were in, or I was in, you know, like, confused like that? So, yeah, leave your comments down below. As always, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you get notifications of every time you post a new video. I post a new video, not you post a new video. See, my mind's going a bit insane now. And I want to thank my friends so much for letting me post this. We're still amazingly awesome friends. He's probably learned a bit more about what I thought about then now, but you know, we're awesome friends. We always will be. We have got a great bond. I'm sure we'll be in each other's lives pretty much probably forever anyway, even as friends. So there's nothing really lost, everything's gained, and hopefully he's going to come to another one of my extra meetups, which will be amazing to see him. And yeah, and I hope he does find a romantic girl who'll be interested in gaming for him, and who'll be awesome for him too in that way. And yeah, it'll just be all really, 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 really good. It'll be great. So yeah, I just think it's gonna be really good. Anyway, I will sign off there. I think I've said enough for tonight. Just that my best friend, Martin, will still always be my best friend. We'll always be great friends. And I think it's really important to note that if you are in a friendship, you know, you can be adult and have these conversations. You know, you should have them. There's no point in spending your life worrying and whittling about whether the other person likes you or doesn't like you more than a friend, or likes you romantically doesn't. And by the same token, there's no point in like penting up your feelings. Like for me, it just doesn't work. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. It's really nice. You know, so, you know, it's just really important to reflect. And yeah, my friend's beautiful. I'm beautiful. We're two beautiful friends together. Hey, what can I say? So it's all good. Anyway, if you've had any confusing things like that happen to you, please write in the comments. And I'm going to sign off for tonight on APAM Day 12 of Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month. I think it's really interesting to see different contrasts between aromantic and romantic perspectives in the same sort of situation. Anyway, it's really good, and I'm going to say goodnight for now, and take care, and I will see you on tomorrow's video. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with all your friends and whoever may benefit from it. Bye.